Designate a proven mentor. Evaluate who it is that you're following. Do they qualify to take you where you want to go? There's too many ants telling bees how to make honey. Stop following people who have never been where you wanted to go. The blind leading the blind, and everybody ends up in the ditch. Think about anybody who you want to see win with you. Think about who you want to see grow with you. Think about the other leaders that you work alongside. Think about somebody else that you want to see grow and prosper. If you're on Instagram, what's up, David Russell? If you're on Instagram, okay, go ahead and send this out to 5 people. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. If you're on Zoom with us, take the link, copy and paste it, send it out, take a screenshot of the call, post it somewhere, right? Drop it in the chat, and we're going to get this thing started. I tell you guys this. With this call today, I truly believe that it's going to be extremely powerful. Everything that I discuss is with a purpose. And you guys know that every single Saturday, the message is to show people that if you practice God's principles, you can participate in his promises. I tell you what, no matter what you're building, no matter what product or service that you promote, no matter what your goal may or may not be, this will serve you. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some information that has truly changed my life forever, and information that I know can do the same for you. So that being the case, again, last call, go ahead and send this out, share it with somebody else, because we're going to get this thing started. Guys, the topic today is how to win, well, what it takes to win in business. What it takes to win in business, right? So those of you who don't know, I'm going to switch back and forth between the slides and just talking to you. So if you want the slides, you can see the replay that'll show up on YouTube. But in addition to that, you guys can also screenshot them if you see them up. So how many guys want to know what it takes to really, really win in business? How many guys want to make a quantum leap and have results this year, unlike results you've had any other year? How many guys have heard so many different advices? You've heard so many different gurus. You've heard so many different perspectives, but you would love to know, very simply put, what it takes to win in business. Guys, I'm going to tell it to you so straightforward, so raw, that everybody can understand today. So again, if you didn't know, maybe you're seeing this on YouTube, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe, share with somebody else. We do these calls for free. We don't charge for them at all. And there is a Discord server that you can join as well, in the bio of the Instagram page, the Ambassadors of the Kingdom Instagram page, right? So by the way, I'm going to say AOTK a lot. Those of you guys that don't know what that means, it stands for Ambassadors of the Kingdom. But the first thing I want to address is this. Can everyone just type the word desire in the chat? Everyone just type the word desire in the chat on Facebook, on Instagram. Type the word desire. Now, I want to be so raw, real, and authentic. I want to be so straightforward, because you guys got on the call with the call being titled, What It Takes to Win in Business. Guys, let me tell you something. When you talk about desire, I mean, you got to really, really, really want it. Regardless of what anyone told you, regardless of what you may have thought, when I say desire, you truly have to have a desire, right? So my question to you is, what is your why? What is the reason that you've chosen to get involved in business? What's the reason that you chose to pursue your goals, pursue your dreams? What is that thing? In this Saturday, I want you to step out of the norm and think about what that thing truly is and how much it means to you. My question to you is, can you be bought? A lot of people, they can go through a little bit of adversity, but they can be bought, right? They say a salary is a drug they give you to make you forget about all your goals and dreams, right? So if things aren't going the way that you want them to go, if business isn't moving as fast, if you're not moving at the trajectory that you thought, does that change your excitement level? Does it change your enthusiasm? Does it change your involvement? Does it change your daily activity? How much pain can you take? Guys, I like the word decide. And if you're writing it down, write this down as well. The word decide rhymes with two other words, suicide and homicide. Why? Because in each case, something dies. When you decide, ladies and gentlemen, you die to who you were to give birth to who it is that you will become. So the person that you were before that gave up easily, the person that you were before that start and stop, the person that you were prior, ladies and gentlemen, you have to destroy that person and rebuild yourself. Okay? If no one calls you and fires you up, are you still going to do what you need to do? I was talking to my mentor the other day, and he was working with this individual. And he tells me about this individual that he was working with. And this individual that he was working with, this up and coming leader, says to him, says, hey, can you just give a call to this person? Can you get them fired up? Can you get them hyped up? My mentor is a multi seven-figure earner. And he says to this person, he says, wait a minute, you want me to call another grown man and get him excited to build his business and provide for his family? You want me to call him? He says, let me repeat that. You want me to call him to get him excited to do what he was already supposed to do anyways? Guys, there's a level of maturity that comes with winning, right? There's a level of maturity, whereas you can't always need someone else to get you fired up. You can't need somebody to always, say, hey, how's it going? Did you do what you're supposed to do today? That has to be a part of you. That has to be your maturity level. You shouldn't be looking for motivation. Your life should be motivation, right? So desire, ladies and gentlemen, is such a crucial piece. No matter what you're looking to accomplish, no matter what you're looking to achieve, do you have the desire? Okay. And there's so many different ways that I can give you to build your desire. But more than anything, just think about what it is that you really want. Guys, I got to bring the word into it. Let me show you what the word says. Okay. And you guys can write this stuff down. You can screenshot it. You can save it. But I just want to show you what the word says, because those of you guys that don't know, for me, I don't necessarily always look for what gurus say. I want to know what God says. Right? So let's look at Colossians 3:23. Right? Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Let me tell you something. When you work for men and your attitude and mentality is, I'm going to work to get my return from people, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. People aren't always going to do you right. How many guys ever been done wrong? Somebody type yep in the chat. How many guys did something nice for someone? You did something right for someone. You put the energy, time, and effort into serving someone, but they did you the exact opposite of what you did them. Right? You said, I'm going to help this person. You said, I'm going to provide service to this individual. But ladies and gentlemen, how many guys know that it doesn't always come back around from them? When I figured that out, ladies and gentlemen, I said, man, an eye for an eye truly makes the whole world blind. I'm going to say it again. An eye for an eye will truly make the entire world blind. So I said, wait a minute, instead of working with the expectation that my return is going to come back from people, why don't I just work with the expectation that it's going to come back from God? Somebody type, in the chat box. What's up, Prime Time? I see you, brother. Okay. I'm going to read that again. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Guys, desire. It's got to be in you that you have a desire to win, and for the right purposes, that you have a desire to work for the right purposes, not because of what you think somebody's going to do in return for you. Guys, Proverbs 10:4 says, a slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of diligence makes rich. Let me explain what that means. If you don't work, you're going to be broke. But if you do work, you're going to be rich. And I love that because, guys, I didn't, again, it's so simple. It's so clear. I don't think there's any confusion. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. I heard it said this way. I heard of an individual, very, very successful. Okay. He says, I think Well, he was in an interview, and the interviewer asked him this question. He says, do you think there's any hope for lazy people? He says, do you think there's any hope for people, right, who aren't actually willing to do the work? This is what he asked this successful individual. Follow me. And he says to the interviewer, I think it would be very disrespectful for people to think that they don't have to put in the work that someone who's successful had to, but they still want the same result. He said, I think it would be disrespectful to think that they could just skip the line and not have to go through the trials and the tribulations and not have to put in the work and not have to do what it is that's necessary. Guys, another thing that I heard said, my mentor says the other day, he says, listen, all of you are on here because you want to achieve my results. But if you want to achieve my results, if you want to live my lifestyle, are you willing to live the lifestyle that I lived in order to get the lifestyle? You want what it is that I have, but are you willing to do what it is that I did? Desire, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to have an intrinsic. What does intrinsic means? It means coming from within, an intrinsic motivation, an intrinsic desire. Guys, this one gets me fired up. Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Guys, I had a desire to become skillful, right? Do you have a desire to become skillful? Let me ask you this question. Because I work with a lot of people, and I've met thousands and thousands and thousands of people that say, I want this result. They say, I want to accomplish this thing. And they have $1 million dream, but they've got a minimum wage work ethic. My question that I have for you is, are you willing to become skillful in your work? I see people that want a certain result, but they don't want to become good at what they do. Come on, does anybody want to become good at what they do? Type of AOTK in the chat. I know we're praying for it. I know we're asking for it. I know we're wishing on a star, hopefully not, okay, for it. But are you willing to work for it? Guys, I was in a hurry. I was in a rush to cut my teeth. Why? I just wanted the skills. Because I said, hey, they've got this level of result, and it was hard for me to believe that I could have the result, but I knew I could do the work that they did to get the result. I knew I could gain the skills that they gained to get the result. Does that make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Some of you who maybe aren't the best at what you do right now, you're going to get good at that thing. And you're going to start to develop that skill. You're going to start to develop that muscle. And it's going to put you before kings. I wanted to stand before kings. I don't want to stand before obscure men. I don't want to stand before just anybody. I wanted to stand before the best of them. Guys, the word says your gift will make room for you. But you got to work on yourself. You got to have a desire to actually get better, to become that person. I like the way Jim Rohn says it. He says we can have more if we're willing to become more. It's in the becoming, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have a willingness to become skillful? Okay. Come on, man. If you're sticking with me, type of AOTK in the chat box. Chosen King. What's up, my brother? Okay. Proverbs 12:24. Did Kevin, did you? I don't know. I feel like somebody may have dropped this already. Kudos to you if you did. Proverbs 12:24 says, the hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. How many guys don't prefer forced labor? How many guys are rulers on the call, man? Type of AOTK in the chat. Proverbs 12:24 says, the hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Guys, desire and work ethic. This is the part you got to show up with. This is the part you have to coach. You cannot coach. This is the part you got to already just do. Okay? Desire, ladies and gentlemen. right? Proverbs 20:13 says, love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes and you will have plenty of bread. How many of y'all want some bread? Type bread in the chat. Okay? Love not sleep. Some of us love sleep more than we want to win. Some of us love sleep more than we love the idea of accomplishing and achieving our goals. You have to start to prioritize what it is that you really, really, really want. Okay? Love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes and you will have plenty of bread. Okay? And one of my favorites is Galatians 6:9. And it says, let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Guys, let me break this down to you. Because a lot of us, if we're honest, we think back to the last time that it got tough. We think back to the last time that it got hard and we slowed down, right? We took a hiatus. We decided to not do what it is that we know we're supposed to do each and every single day. How many of you guys have been around that person and they get adversity and they say, oh, it must be a sign that I'm not supposed to do this? How many guys have been around somebody that had a small hiccup, a small bump in the road? And they said, that must be a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing this. Let me tell you guys something. Opposition is the sign that you're in position. Write it down. Opposition is the sign that you're in position. Why? Because the battle is not of flesh and blood. It's a spiritual warfare. So if things are coming against you, can I tell you something? The urge to quit is always greatest right before a breakthrough. So if things are coming against you, ladies and gentlemen, that means you're about to break through. That means you're about to break free. And I knew that each and every single time. Sometimes I would ask myself, or I would ask God, I said, why? Why do I have to endure this? Why do I have to be challenged by that? But guess what? On the other side of every test was a testimony. Because let me tell you something, a lot of us, how many guys see yourself impacting lives? Type of AOTK in the chat. How many guys see yourself in front of people, in front of crowds? How many guys see yourself moving people? Let me ask you something. What you gonna talk about when they pass you the mic? What do you have to say that you overcame when they give you the stage? When they call you hundreds of people and thousands of people, what are you going to be able to tell them that you made it through and that if you can do it, they can do it? You see, ladies and gentlemen, that's a part of the deal. Just because there's a bump in the road, don't mean you get out the car. Who's with me? Is everybody tracking with me? I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're following along. Guys, we're going to move forward. The next step is this. I told you number one was desire. Okay, I told you number one was desire. Right? But moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just desire. Okay? You got to designate a proven mentor. Okay? Okay? You got to designate a proven mentor. Let me talk about it. Right? So when I say designate a proven mentor, guys, you must evaluate who it is that you're following. Hear me on this. Because we got people on Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom. Designate a proven mentor. Evaluate who it is that you're following. Do they qualify you, or do they qualify to take you where you want to go? Okay. There's too many ants telling bees how to make honey. Follow me. There's too many ants telling bees how to make honey. Stop following, right? People who have never been where you wanted to go. Why are we taking directions from people who have never been where we want to go? Okay. The blind leading the blind, and everybody ends up in the ditch. So a lot of us will look at what somebody says they've done. A lot of us will look at people who we might like, who might be cool people. But can I tell you, for years, I followed the wrong people. Right? Why? Because I didn't have discernment on who was worth following. Come on. I'm trying to save you from wasting years of your life. The first thing you do is designate a proven mentor. Do not designate the homie. don't, don't designate your bestie necessarily to be your mentor. Designate somebody that got the results that you want. Don't designate this dude over here because he has a nice Instagram page and he paid for a photographer. He's got some cool content and now that's your mentor. No, designate a proven mentor. Okay. Can I tell you why you designate a proven mentor? The reason why you designate a proven mentor, ladies and gentlemen, is because they have what it is that you want. Now, follow me here. Mentorship must be earned, and there's levels to it. There was times when I wanted to study with the number one guy. I wanted to work directly with the number one guy. That's not always where we're at. Sometimes it would serve us more to work with somebody who maybe works with that somebody. Right? And you can still listen to them. You can still learn from them in a group setting, but to be able to have direct access, guys, a lot of us have entitlement. We feel like, oh, well, just because I have proximity with this person means that I should be able to have all of their time, that I should be able to get all of their resources. And that's not true. Mentorship is earned. So when I say designate a proven mentor, ladies and gentlemen, pick somebody that can take you to your next level, whatever that looks like for you. If you've never been to $1,000 in a month, hey, that might be your mentor, somebody that's done that. If you've never been to 5,000, 10,000, if you've never made a full-time, a part-time, you just want somebody to take you where you can go next, where you want to go next, where you need to go next. Now, follow me here. The higher up you can go, the better, if you're ready for that. But what is my point, ladies and gentlemen? Designate a proven mentor. Okay. Do they qualify to take you where it is that you want to go? Guys, I messed up. I mean, I look back and I say, man, no wonder I wasn't achieving my goals. I was following people who didn't have no results. No wonder nobody was getting results because nobody teaching even had results. Right? Designate a proven mentor. Somebody type proven in the chat. Okay. I teach this. I won't do anything unless I have somebody who has already done it. I will not pursue unless I see that that person can take me where I want to go. Otherwise, we're just guessing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let me tell you something else about designating a proven mentor. They've already figured it out. Guys, a lot of us ask questions. What opportunity should I pursue? What product should I sell? What business should I start? What direction should I go? Guys, that is not the right question. The right question is, who is the person that I'm supposed to follow? Why? Because the person that you're supposed to follow has already started the business. They've already broken down the compensation plan. They already understand the pitfalls that are going to come against you on the journey. They already know. So the easiest thing that you can do, the simplest thing you can do is, instead of being a rocket scientist and trying to figure out the whole thing, just find the right person because they've already done it for you. Let me tell y'all something. Mentorship is wisdom without the waiting. Follow me. I said mentorship is wisdom without the wounds. I learned this. I said, I value mentorship. Why? Because a mentor is going to save me time, man. A mentor is going to save me from bumping my head against the wall. The mentor is what you focus on more than anything else, right? Before you learn the business, learn the mentor. Learn the mentor. The mentor is going to teach you the business. And guys, guess what? More is caught than taught. So when you're with the right person, okay, you're learning so many different things that you would have never otherwise learned. Okay? Guys, let me tell you some more about mentorship, because you know that I got some word for everything I'm saying. Proverbs 3:13-18 says, blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding, for the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Guys, that's wisdom. That is wisdom. But where do you get wisdom? You can get it from time spent, experiences had, or you can get it from a mentor. I said mentorship is wisdom without the waiting. Guys, it says, for the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, and in her left are riches and honor. How many guys want long life, riches, and honor? That sounds good to me, man. Type AOTK in the chat. Long life, riches, honor, sign me up. Wisdom, though, okay? It comes from wisdom. In the wisdom that you want to obtain, the wisdom that you want to achieve, ladies and gentlemen, you can get it straight from a mentor. That's why you got to be so grateful for a mentor when you find one. Guys, moving forward, guess what? Okay. You got Proverbs 19 and 20 says, listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. It says, listen to advice and accept instruction. When you have somebody that has everything you want, or at least what you want to get to your next level of some way, shape, or form. Because watch this. Let me tell you something. No mentor is perfect. Just the information they're giving you is. But no man or woman is perfect. So it says, listen to advice and accept instruction. Can I ask you a question? If a mentor or a coach, if you actually had one, or if you do have one, and they give you advice, they give you instruction, would you take it? Let me ask you something. Would you take it the first time? Or would you need to hear it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? Your willingness to change and your willingness to grow, to be coachable. What is that? Right? So listen to advice and accept instruction that you may gain wisdom in the future. Proverbs 12 and 15, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. How many guys met that person and they always got to be right? It don't matter what it is. They just always have to be right. Every conversation, they're trying to prove to you how they're right. Every single interaction, they want you to know, like, yeah, I heard you, but I already knew this. Or, oh, okay, I already know. How many guys know somebody like that? It says the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. Don't you guys love how all the answers are right here? Right. Principles, patterns, precepts. Okay. It's all literally right here. Right. So that gets me fired up. Guys, moving forward, the next thing, right? Because number one, I told you desire. Right. Number one, I told you desire. Number two, I said designate a proven mentor. Okay. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about being a coachable student. Okay. Let's talk about being a coachable student. Right? So what does it look like to be a coachable student? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what it means. Are you willing to change and grow? Are you arrogant and egotistical? Come on now, it's real talk. Are you arrogant and egotistical? I work with people who have phenomenal potential over the past 7 years. But you know what I learned, ladies and gentlemen? A lot of people, their ego gets in the way. Everything could be amazing, but their ego stops them from getting to where they truly want to be, and more importantly, staying where they want to be. Why? Because ego, follow me, write this down. Ego stands for edging God out. Okay. All ego is doing, ladies and gentlemen, is it's blocking your awareness level, because as long as your ego is way up here, guess what? Now you can't be receptive to the right information. Now you can't hear correction and apply it. You can't take advice because your ego is too big. Right? So what I wanted to do when I found a mentor, every mentor, I said, let me reduce myself. and let me listen more than I speak. Why? You got 2 ears and one mouth so that you can listen twice as much as you speak. So I knew, let me listen, let me take notes, let me study. Even though this is how I feel about it, let me take into account the opinion and the advice and the instruction of someone who already has what it is that I want. Okay. Can I tell you something? 99% coachability can still result in failure. So you got to ask yourself that question: how coachable am I really? How much do I listen really? Right? Make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat. Humility is not stupidity, and meekness is not weakness. It doesn't make you less than because you're listening to someone else and you're taking advice and instruction. It doesn't make you less at all. Guys, it makes you more powerful. Right? It makes you stronger, ladies and gentlemen. It shortens your process. Okay? Being a coachable student, right? You guys can see this here. But being a coachable student, ladies and gentlemen, okay, study your mentor. Follow me. Really hear me when I want you to hear what I'm about to say. When I say be a coachable student, ladies and gentlemen, study your mentor. Study them, study them, study them. Guys, I literally cannot even put it into words. If you have somebody that has something you want, trust me, there's some things about them that allow them to have that. If you look closely, you're going to find certain personality traits. If you look closely, you're going to find certain habits. If you listen closely, you're going to hear certain things in their speech. If you watch them closely, you're going to see certain routines, ladies and gentlemen. Study that person and find ways to serve and give back. This is how a coach or mentor knows who they should be spending their time with. Somebody that listens the first time. Somebody who doesn't just want to take. Okay? A parasite is somebody that wants what's in the mentor's pocket, but a protege is somebody who wants what's in the mentor's hand. Find ways to serve and give back. Whatever they tell you, guys, do it the first time. There's no bigger form of dishonor than an ignored instruction. If you heard it and you just ignored it and say, oh, I'll get to it when I felt like it, or nah, they don't really know what they're talking about, guys, that is going to cause for you to lose access to that coach, to that mentor. So a mentor's job is never to chase you down. Guys, let me talk about this. A lot of us, we have a sense of entitlement. I knew this wasn't going to work for me when I found my coach. Listen, in the beginning, I didn't truly understand this. I had to learn. I had to be taught. I had to study. I had to grow. But we sometimes have a sense of entitlement. What do I mean, entitlement? We feel like, well, the mentor, the coach should chase me down to help grow me. My coach, my mentor, they should follow up with me to get me to live the lifestyle that I want to get from them. That's not how that works, guys. Why? Because there's one of the coach, there's one mentor, right? And I mean that you're studying from, there's millions of mentors, but there's only one of them, and likely there's so many others, hundreds or thousands or dozens of you. So I said, wait a minute, hold on. If my coach has a lifestyle that I want, I need to pursue him. I need to text him. I need to call him. If I have a question, I'm not going to expect for him to read my mind. I'm not going to trip if he don't hit my text back and get in my feelings because I feel like he's ignoring me. No, ladies and gentlemen, this man is busy. This man is massively successful. This man is probably on a call. How many guys know that as a mentor and a coach, some of you on the call, many of you are mentors and coaches. You understand that it comes with a level of responsibility, right? It comes with, it's a tall order, if you will, to serve and dedicate your time to going out there and giving back to other people. So you got to understand that the same goes for you. When you find a mentor and a coach, I knew I couldn't take it personal if I didn't get as much time with them. I didn't think that meant that they didn't care about me. I didn't think that meant that they didn't want to see me win. No, I said, wait a minute. It's my job to pursue them. Because in this mic, they didn't, need me. You see what I'm saying? They wanted my success, but at the end of the day, they didn't need me. Each time I found a mentor, they didn't need me. And guess what? If they did need you, that's not your mentor. That's your buddy. And you need to find a mentor, right? Okay. So whatever they do or whatever they give you to do, you want to do that the first time, right? So moving forward, y'all know I got to give you some word for that. Okay. Being a coachable student, Proverbs 11:12. When pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with the humble is wisdom. 1 Corinthians 3:18, let no one deceive himself. If anyone among you thinks that he is wise in this age, let him become a fool that he may become wise. Guys, we got to learn how to reduce ourselves, right? And get rid of our egos so that we can listen and learn. Can I tell you something? Some of us are competing with individuals that we should be taking notes from. Some of us are competing with individuals that we should be learning from, taking notes from. So we got to learn how to reduce ourselves. Some of us think this is a bad thing. No, this is a good thing. This makes you wiser. The person that thinks they know it all, guess what? They can't learn anything. The man who thinks they've learned everything is in a position to learn nothing. Okay. Last but not least, John 8:32, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Can I tell you something? Let me say it again. It says, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But let me ask you something. Does it say that you have to feel good about the truth? Does it say that you have to like the truth? No. Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you, sometimes the truth will piss you off before it sets you free? Some of us don't want to hear the truth. Some of us don't want to hear constructive criticism. We don't want to be corrected. We want to keep doing exactly what we're doing. We want to feel like I'm right and I'm never wrong. So we cripple ourselves and keep ourselves from growing. Be a coachable student. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got some value here today, type of AOTK in the chat. And once again, like, comment, subscribe, share. If you're seeing this on YouTube, okay, and type of AOTK in the chat if you guys got some value. You guys know I enjoy these calls each and every single Saturday. It is great to see all of you. Again, man, y'all on here deep. Y'all on here deep, man. I see all of y'all. Okay, Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom. Again, follow the AOTK Instagram page. You can hop on the Discord server if you want to join us on Zoom next week. And it's great to see all of y'all, man. I love y'all, and you know there's nothing you can do about it. See you next Saturday.